Hi, we're here. Finally, welcome everybody. Welcome to another live, and thank you for joining me. And thank you for those who watch the replay. Yeah. Not gonna press that button. I'm gonna press that button. There we go. Don't want to end the live before I even start the live. I'm a little bit buggered today, that's for sure. Um, just feeling a little bit what they would say. I feel a little bit gutted today. Um, I had hello, my loves. I had physio today, so and I was like, all right. I woke up with my because it's a lot on my right side from the accident. So I woke up this morning with my right knee and the outside of my knee and stuff like that. Just like what was I doing last night in bed, right? Besides sleeping. Might have had one of those good dreams. Not. And I was just like, fuck, what the hell did I do? So, anyways, I went there and I guess it has to do with my hip. Um, because the pain, like I got whiplash, right? And then my wrist is still my wrist is still buggered. And then going down on my right side to my right hip and knee and stuff like that and the ligaments that are in there. So I got my little exercises. I do my exercises. I'm really good. But after and she didn't do a lot, and that's the whole thing. And that's what kind of like pisses me off. It's just like she didn't do a lot. She did a little bit of manipulation on my neck, and when she was doing it, it just felt really good. And now it's just like, what? What's going on? So, and I do feel it, my whole body, it just feels buggered. But, on that note, we will carry on. It is another cray kind of day. We can start to feel it, especially with that, you know, um, Venus going into Leo. Now, Venus into Leo, which goes over and it squares my Venus and Venus in Leo and stuff. So anything that's in Leo squares, if you're a fixed sign, if you're in an opposition, it'll be an opposite your Aquarius. If you're a Taurus or a Scorpio, it's going to square that energy, right? So it's going to make some really tough aspects there for those signs. Uh, and then same with Pluto being in the last, and then there's that Venus opposition to Pluto. And which really, puts a pull on what it is, because Aquarius isn't I was going to say, isn't the sunshine state. Aquarius isn't the place where people shine. That's Leo. People, that Leo spirit and wanting to get out and wanting to be around. Well, Aquarius isn't exactly one to go out and, let me go shine. It is the mad scientific brain. It is the opposite of shining, basically. Aquarius, no offense to any Aquarius. I have an Aquarius daughter. I have kids with a lot of Aquarius in them, with Aquarius moons and stuff, and Aquarius rising. So it's not, but it's where they really take an objective view to everything. So they question, a lot of what's going on, and they do it in a very analytical way. That's why you find things like uh anything to do with AI and stuff coming out is really popular. Why? Because it has to do with science. It has to do with new technology. So things to do with new technology. It has to do with space and space travel. So, things along that line. That's what Aquarius is. Aquarius is where Leo's going to just do something to do something because it feels like they want to fucking do something. Aquarius is like, okay, oh, I like that blue, but I wanted a different tint of blue, right? Because they kind of saw it. And plus, Aquariuses are unique. They have a uniqueness about them. They are the ones with the most tattoos. They are the ones who do things a little bit more extreme than others. They're the ones when I start looking at their chart, they do have things going on mentally because of the way that their brain works and how they are thinking, especially with a moon in Aquarius. Now, moons in Aquarius, I mean, they really have an abstract way of looking at the world, and depending what their sign is and how they keep it all grounded and how they keep it all together. So this Aquarius energy that's really there, and with that Pluto there. So for me, I was just like, okay, what else is going on? And then the Leo King mentioned his opposition of with Venus coming in, and he's a 0 degree Leo, and having that opposition with Pluto and this squaring his, and I'm like, huh, this is me. Huh. What does that mean? So I went back and I looked at my own chart and I'm like, well, fuck. Well, fuck Pluto. It's, you're the disruptor. You're the one who's disrupting things and pushing boundaries in my life with my Venus. So the things that I care about, the things that I love, the things that, Venus is about the things that you own, being a disruptor with the things that you own. Um, it's that type of sort of it is that type of frequencies or energies that are coming in that are pushing many people to their limits. And when you're feeling pushed, this is where you really have to know how to retreat, how to take a moment and get in the sunshine, take a moment and breathe, take a moment and really appreciate the things that are going well in your life. Yeah, everything in my life feels like hell in a handbasket, and I love I've I've had so many beautiful people. Well, why don't you do this, Mary? Why did you do that, Mary? And I'm just like, and it's so beautiful because I'm just like, I know their energy and I know their human design. I understand a little bit of human design, so I'm just like, well, you're a manifestor generator, or you're a pure generator, or you're a manifestor, so you're very good at, like, okay, we could do this, da, 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 da. Where being a projector is just like, okay, but I just had physio today. I need to I can't push my limit any further. I was doing it yesterday and I pushed it, and I'm exhausted today. So it's understanding the flow and how I have to work. Great, wonderful suggestions from people, and I love them, and I take them to heart. And being having a Cancer moon too, then I just sort of like, I take everything to heart, and I just take that all in. And with that understanding that I also have a Pluto that's going to be opposing my moon, and sitting there and opposing my moon. So I'm going to be questioning so much internally. So this is where, in understanding a lot of the frequencies that are going on within your chart, to understand that this is where I'm just handing it over to God. And that's so important, taking that time and handing it over to God, giving your worries and everything, because I can't, I don't know what the outcome is. And a lot of times right now, I can't control the outcome. I was thinking, like, man, if I was working or doing the job that I was doing before, there's no way I would be able to keep up working behind the bar the way I used to work behind the bar with my wrist. There's just no way I would be able to keep up with it, and or be able to stand because of my neck and my hip. I'd be more buggered than what I am now if I'd have to stand on my feet for 8 hours. Like, it would just my body could not take it, or take what I was doing. So now I'm just like, okay, I got to honor myself with all of this, and know that even though it might be hard, and it's just really frustrating, especially financially, frustrating that it's just like open the doors and continue doing what I'm doing and trying to um create even more things. So my mind's going on things that I can create and what I want to create, not only on as a psychic or as a coach, as a spiritual coach, but looking at other things that I really want to start creating and making. So my mind's going in a direction. Okay, what can I make? What can I do? And what kinds of things can I start designing, sort of thing. So starting to take it and look at things in a different way, and take where I can, what can I start, utilizing online. And so I've, just letting my imagination go, and writing things down as they go. So taking one day at a time is so important right now. I wasn't going to do a live, and I thought, what the fuck, Mary? What are you going to do? Just sit there and just fall asleep? And I was just like, yeah, that's what I want to do. No, you're going to get on there. You got to do your live. Um, and not be a stick in the mud. So I'm not being a stick in the mud. Oh, that tastes so good. And so with that, you may be overwhelmed with a lot of the situations, but you got to offer this to your divine, to God, and allow, not to. What did I write down today? I wrote something down this morning. I offer you my prayers, works, joys, and sufferings of this day. That's what I wrote this morning. Pretty good. I totally forgot about that. And that was at 7 o'clock this morning. That's what I wrote. I offer you my prayers, works, joys, and sufferings of this day. And I was just like, now that I'm thinking about that, yeah, that's what you got to do. You got to offer it all up to the universe, right? You love my lives. I love you, Declan Joe. Just wondering, a long time ago, you bought a grow tower. Did it work? No, no, Jen. What happened? Oh, yeah. One, my apartment's way too small to have a grow tower in it. Um, when I bought the grow tower, I was still living in the duplex and got it all set up, got it all going, and we had to move. So the grow tower sits outside. And it's there. I just have I maybe I could use it outside, probably could. Just haven't utilized it at all, but it sits out there outside. And in moving here, because I basically until the last day, and that's when Andrew and Greg came to help me and my son. I had to do all the moving by myself, so I wasn't tending full time or more until I was let go on a year ago in June on the summer solstice. Um, weird day to be let go. I think that's just so ironic. Let go. So I haven't really used it. I've been here now, and then yeah, it's just crazy. And then this year just ended up being another crackpot year. So, but yeah, I do. It does work. Um, and it is. Um, I think if somebody takes the time to do it, I think they're a fabulous, fabulous idea. So, and in doing them, so you can do some really fabulous things with them. If it was worth the price. I don't think it was worth the price. I think because now, watching so many things on TikTok and YouTube, you can make it so easily with PVC piping, and even do things with those noodles that kids play with in the pool, and you can use the noodles and stuff. There's just so many different ways that you could do it in a very cheaper way. um Even in getting the fertilizer and stuff like that, if you want to use the fertilizer, getting the cups, you can get the cups really cheap from either the dollar store and other places too. So, and there's you don't have to have special seeds. So there's so many ways of doing it that I've discovered afterwards, you know, in something like that. So if you're ever thinking of doing it, there's a lot of research. You can do a lot of things. Just start looking on TikTok and then go to their YouTube site. And there's people have, I mean, there's some genius people out there with some fabulous ideas on how to do things and how to grow a garden. I There's a book, How to Grow Under the Arch, and it's written locally here in Calgary, and it talks about how to grow underneath the Chinook arch, right? And different plants that grow really well underneath the arch. And that's a really good book. There's also one, it's called the 90-foot 90 or 9 square foot, a 9 square foot farmer, and it talks how much you can grow in 9 square feet. And it's pretty remarkable. It's pretty cool. And it shows you how what you can grow in 9 square feet. Yeah, 9 square feet. Yeah. So I don't think it's worth all of the money that it came out to be. And yeah, so there's my answer. Ask a simple question and look at what happens. I say that all the time. It always have a story to go with it. But that's the whole, you know, craziness of it. I feel with the frequencies, especially going into the weekend, are going to be very intense, and then we're going to be coming into the 3/4 square moon, and with the moon being 3/4 square, I think that's going to cause a lot more people feeling a lot more intensity. So as I was reading some comments from uh like from the Leo King, when he's talking about it, and some of the some other astrologers and people commenting saying that this has been such a harsh Cancer season for them, and they've had a really hard time in doing this. Now the moon's going to go void, of course, a little bit today, and because it's in Libra today. So and it is doing an opposition to Neptune today too. So might be feeling a little bit disillusioned and feeling a little bit, wanting to get back into, wanting to feel the balance. They're trying to get um, boundaries up there. That Venus is at 1 degree right now. Mercury's at 15 degrees. So there's those oppositions of Pluto with Venus opposition with Pluto. The sun, as it'll come in and finish up at the very end of Cancer, it's going to make an opposition right over to Pluto. Like it's just, you're going to have that full moon, and then bang, you're going to, from the full moon, you can, it'll go into Leo. So kind of like a lot of freaky kind of energies and stuff coming forward. A lot of things came out in NATO, so we got a lot of world points. That Pluto coming in, it's the Plutonian, Neptune, Uranus being there, that's uranium. So there's some crazy energies, especially between Pluto and uranium, Pluto and Uranus. I mean, they are making a trine, and Neptune's making a sextile over to Pluto. So I feel there's some kind of crazy deal happening with those three outer planets. So something's going to come from out of out of left field. Something's going to come in from out of left field that we're totally not expecting. Um, and it's just going to put a lot more pressure upon us. Now we're seeing it. If you look at on the outside of the world, everything that's going on in Paris, and how the rioting and everything's happening in Paris right now. It's I don't mind people protesting. What really pisses me off is when you look at like the monuments, like they're spray painting some of the fucking monuments and the fountains and destroying the properties and things along that line. That's what bothers me. Like, doing shit like that. Like, go out there, do your little protest or stand up for whatever, but don't start doing shit on people's property and businesses, etc. So um there's a lot of that's going on, and that's causing a lot of havoc in the world right now. The summit is wrapping up in out there in Washington state, or Washington DC, with NATO, but we're also seeing where Biden is doing a bunch of flubs in his talking. He called Lewinsky Putin, and he called his VP Trump. So, I mean, we witnessed, people saw it live. So that's kind of a lot of the craziness that's going on with it. So we also have a lot of people, stepping up and really talking about, preparedness. So a lot more people, just even legacy media and shit like that, they're all coming out talking about um being prepared for things. Summer's not over. We're in the midst of summer. Summer's not over till September. So I still see that there could be something that really, I mean, they're pushing Mr. Putin to the edge. But here's the thing. Putin, Gigi Gigi, I'm just going to call him Gigi. He sounds like a puppy dog. The leader of China. Like, these guys aren't going to leave until they die. Like, they're going to continue being the leader. Putin's been there for like 18 years or something like that. I'm not too sure. And we get these fly by nights, and where you think, one, especially if you're in there for 4 years or 8 years, you would kind of expect that you want to leave it better than the last person, right? Or if you've been in power for at least 10 years in your country, that you would believe that you would want to do something really, really good for your country and leave it in a very positive place. But what we have found is that in the West here, where they have basically raped and pillaged everything, and literally and metaphysically, they've taken and taken and taken to a point where they're thinking it's a good thing to do a 90% tax rate on the rich in France, and they're trying to do that in the UK and here in Canada as well. Is that a good thing? And that means that if you start earning well, now this is the other thing. If you start earning well and you start doing really well, then and they have sort of a threshold. It's just like for us, we just passed a threshold by 2 grand, and now we are considered um we're considered that they cutting Steve's old age security and stuff. So because now you're rich, right? You're rich. So that's what people don't have to understand. It's just like when we were I said to Steve, I said, they just want to, us not to do anything. Basically, don't do anything, don't work, don't earn over this amount, because if you do, then you're considered the elite. You're considered, according to the government, rich. Then now you'll have to pay more taxes. You're going to have to pay more in everything that you do, according to the government. And where you think that you're like, holy shit, no, I just basically made it by. And whereas buying food and stocking up on food, thank God we did do that. It is, now we're entering into, and we're using up a lot of our resources, right? Because it's like, oh, okay, but thank God we have it, kind of thing. But this is where people have to understand. It's like, no, don't want to tax the rich till, 90%. That means nobody will want to grow, nobody will want to prosper, nobody will want to do anything or invest. Why am I going to invest and try, and even though they're telling me that this is a free market and this is a democracy, and we want you to invest and grow your company, but if you do, then you're going to tax me, right? To a point where, why am I going to do what I'm doing to better the country, or to get to have jobs for people? It's not that I'm sitting out on a yacht and eating bonbons, but if I want to really invest and make my company grow and prosper and really invest, into your country or into your neighborhood, to do that, that means I'm going to have to pay, right? If I'm doing things legally. Now, you got to look at how many people are going to start doing things illegally or start to embezzle their money in different ways and get it out, right, where they don't have to pay it. And that's the other part that people don't really realize or look at, right? So this is where a lot of the straws on the camel's back are, breaking. An additional CPP number 2 on my pay stub now. I work hard and all kinds of weather. Literally, half my paycheck goes to taxes. Oh, Lisa, I believe you. Oh, definitely. And the thing is that another CPP tax. Yet, here it is. Seniors, my husband, me. That means diddly squat. That means diddly squat. Kyle is 54%. That means piss all, right? That money doesn't go, like when you pay into the Canadian pension plan, you're thinking, I'm paying into my pension, right? So this is what you were told. This is what you were told to believe. I'm paying into my pension. No, you're not. Because it's not separated. It's not going into some kind of, like the teachers union of that invests into different things. It doesn't do that. It goes into a 500, was it 500,000, 500, 500,000, 500 million, $500 million. I think it was $1 million was just signed to go to the Ukraine from Canada. Yet we have people who can't afford food. We have people who don't want to open a business. We have people who are just living off their pension, but their pension is nothing, right? And that's crazy. That's just crazy. Cuz you're thinking that you're paying to put into a better future, but you're not. You're not. You're paying so that BlackRock and all of those other big corporations who have invested into Ukraine, because they're just waiting for it to get blown up so that they can do their shit there. That's what they're waiting for. And that's where the frustration comes in. That's where people are starting to say, "Hey, this isn't working for me, buddy." You know, Trudeau just threw what's her face under the bus, and he's bringing in somebody else to be the finance minister and to be the deputy minister, prime minister. Interesting. Interesting. Now, it's not the first time he's done that to women. Like he's got a thing about, and she's been the biggest ass sucker, there is, you know. And I think so, because he's been wanting to take Trudeau's spot. But the thing is, Trudeau's, when the guy's been going caca, 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 and making all the noise, Trudeau's like, okay, well, fuck this. Fuck this. I'm getting rid of her, and I'm going to bring you in as the minister, because, and he'll make, as the leak came out yesterday, and of course, a leak. It was a leak that basically said, this is what I want them to say, leak this out, kind of thing. And she didn't even have time to respond yet. Like, she just got thrown under the fucking bus. Like, I don't think she really saw. She might have known something was up, but she probably thought, because of being high and mighty, and she knows, I can tell how rich you are by the way you smile. I must be really rich. Yeah. um then it's that she probably thought that she was untouchable. So, and the thing, same with if he changes his caucus again, if he throws everybody out, and he's an asshole. He's an asshole enough to do that. So that's what I'm just like, okay, he wants to control. He wants to keep the power so much, right? And this is where people say, well, aren't you I mean, we have a king, yet we don't have a king, because in theory, it's the king who is supposed to come in and say, okay, you're getting out of hand. We're going to dissolve everything. But that's not the way it works. She has other jobs with the WEF. She's good. Oh yeah, I know she's good. No, I like, trust me, my heart is not bleeding for her. What bugs me is the way he does things, because they're so narcissistic and just being an asshole. The whole being an asshole. So that's the biggest piece, him being an asshole. So, and then taking the one guy in because he knows that he doesn't want him to take his job, kind of thing. So, and his time is limited anyways. But doing a good deed and making sure that we stay in NATO, making sure that we stay in good favor of everybody, I will just give over $500 million, whatever. But I mean, that's all part and parcel with everything in the astrology. That's showing you that a lot of things, you got to have, before you can have things go well, you're going to have a lot of victims in different ways that are going to start to appear in the world. Sometimes good. I wouldn't call them a victim. Some of them, like, I wouldn't call her a victim, but maybe the circumstances in which she was just put in, you know, that's the whole thing. So it, as we go forward, it's just going to be crazy. But anyways, as I said, not feeling, not feeling real chipper after everything. So I'm gonna find my other. I got another deck of cards. Gotta find them. I'll do a search afterwards. Yes. She's probably snorted all his good stuff. Yeah. Probably. I agree with that. That's probably what she found my stash. Oh. She didn't want to share with me. Oh my God. What do we have? Rescue. That's what we do. We need a rescue. Come rescue us. We need a rescue. We need to go somewhere. I've been up since 1 a.m. and my stomach has been turning. Oh, usually a sign to me that something big is about to hit. Yeah. It is, Lisa. Your tummy ain't wrong. Something big is going to start hitting. And it's probably, it'll all stem down to because of the threat that they're, with Germany. It's funny. Germany and Russia. So Germany made a threat to Russia, or Russia made a threat to Germany. So we have that. We also have things going on the border of Poland. And I know once things start going crazy in Poland, he's kind of like the cousins. So it's like the cousin starts, shit starts happening there. We've already had the invasion of France. We can see that with all the disruption that's going on there. So, yippers, asking for help isn't easy. However, that's what you need to do to expand your life. So ask for help. Ask for a helping hand. Safety is the place and the spirit of the place. You've got spirit of the place. Look at that. That's beautiful. Look at that. So there is support, and I think spirit wants to come in and help. So asking your divine, coming in and bringing in the divine is really going to help you, because you got to trust that spirit will guide you. So know that what you are doing and where you are, spirit is always there. Spirit is always guiding you. And you have to go into a little bit of solitude to find it. So take some time to breathe. Take some time to just go sit out in the sun and take your time and really look at the good things that are going on in your life, and giving thanks to all the good things that are going on in your life, and offer your prayers, works, joys, and sufferings of the day to your divine. So there you guys go. Have a blessed one. I am going to go and put my feet up and drink some more water and just chill. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be chilling. So have a blessed one. You can send buy me a coffee to the guru mama at gmail.com. Those who have sent me, thank you. I got to say thank you. You don't know. It's just been a blessing. You've helped me buy bus tickets. You've helped me buy milk. You've helped me buy coffee. You're helping me to keep going each and every day. So thank you very much. So thank you for all of that. My husband went to 7-Eleven yesterday. I don't like him walking by himself. I know I said I'm going, but I don't like him walking by himself. So, but he said he'd be fine. So he went and walked the other day by himself. So, because he trips. Anyways, okay. I whispered because I didn't want him to hear me. So, anyways, he went for a walk, and he brought me back a bottle of wine, which was very kind of him. I wasn't expecting that. So he said that he had some change or something. Anyways, he bought me a bottle of wine. So I thought that was very sweet of him. So I got a bottle of wine. Don't think I'm going to touch it today, but I got a bottle of wine. So that was very kind of him, very loving. And so just sending you out so much love. Got my special. Buy me a coffee. God bless. I'm out. See you guys later. I'm just like, I'm out, baby. I'm out.